Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Sarah Choi. So today, like I've said in my last week video, I will be doing a Q&A. I thought that this would be a very good time to do this so you guys will learn a little bit more about me and what kind of person I am. So yeah, let's get into this Q&A because there is a lot of questions. Is Sarah Choi your YouTube name? And if so, what is your real name? So Sarah Choi is actually my English name. Before I lived in Japan, this is the name that was used to people calling me, the name that I actually referred myself to. And the name that I'm using right now is my Japanese name, which is like the name that is on like my official documents and stuff. Just never used it in the States. I think it's because like Korean names and Japanese names are sort of hard to pronounce for Americans, so I think that's why my parents gave me an English name and stuff like that. Ew. What is my ethnicities? My dad is Korean and my mom is Japanese, and I was born in the States, so I am Korean, Japanese, American. So another question a lot of you guys ask is, what language do I speak? Language that I am fluent at is English and Japanese. And Korean. This will also answer a question that a lot of you guys were curious about, is how fluent is my Korean? I was actually quite fluent when I was like living in the States because all of my Korean relatives lives in America. So yeah, I was just surrounded like in this environment where I just hear Korean all day, and I just naturally knew Korean. When I moved to Japan, my dad he really wanted me to learn Japanese as fast as possible. He sort of made a rule in the house that we're not allowed to use Korean and we're only allowed to use Japanese so we could remember Japanese faster. And yeah, it helped. Was able to remember Japanese a lot faster because of this, but at the same time I forgot almost all my Korean. But even besides that, as far as I can remember, my Korean wasn't perfect even in the States. In my church they actually had Korean lessons, and there was actually 3 levels. So there was beginners level, intermediate level, and high level. And I thought it was intermediate. And I was with my friend. My friend, she was really, really smart. She knew how to read Korean. She was even reading these big fat Korean books. She was of course going to a high level class. And I was telling her oh, I think I'm going to go to the intermediate class because I can speak Korean. I think I'm pretty good. But then when I told her that, she literally was looking at me like I'm some kind of freaking donkey. Oh my gosh, what the heck is this girl saying? And she was like, Sarah, your Korean is terrible. I think you should go to the beginners level. And I was like, what? Because I didn't know that my Korean was that bad. She's like, Sarah, sometimes your Korean, I don't know what you're saying. And I was like, what? No one ever told me this. Was I not speaking Korean the whole time when I speak Korean? But apparently sometimes when I use Korean, I didn't know this. This is just something that my parents told me, but apparently my Korean and Japanese was sort of mixed. And sometimes I would combine Korean and Japanese and create this own language that only my parents understood. That's why I thought I was speaking Korean, but it was just my parents just knew what I was saying because they're my parents. Korean wasn't that good to begin with, and then when I moved to Japan it just got even worse. Since we are on the topic of language, one of you guys asked if I learned Tagalog when I was in the Philippines. And actually, Philippines is such an interesting country. The country is a collection of thousands of islands, which is what it makes this country is just so unique and beautiful. Oh my gosh, I really can't wait till COVID is done and I can go back to the Philippines. There's just so much places that I still have to go. But very interesting about Philippines is that depending on which area of the Philippines you are, literally it's a total different language. And I think Tagalog is the national language. But since actually wasn't living in Manila, I think around the Manila area, Tagalog is well used. But I was living in Cebu, and in Cebu they use Cebuano. But even that, I didn't really learn the language because everyone is so fluent in English. There wasn't a need to learn Tagalog or Cebuano. But I did learn somewhere. I think guapa means pretty, and salamat po. Oh my gosh, wait, what does that mean? It's salamat po. I think it's thank you. But yeah, I did study it, but yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. Those are the only words that I know. Okay, so how long did it take me to learn Japanese? When my Japanese really started to become good was like around second year of high school. So yeah, I would say that it took me about 6 years to be like really fluent. I think it really depends on the person, but it took me a very long time to be fluent in Japanese. I had my friend, it literally took her a year to be fluent, but that girl, she was like a freaking genius. I think like the third month she was like living in Japan, she was already like reading like books, like novels, like isn't that crazy? Like 3 months? Like Japanese is a very hard language, but I think it had something to do that she's Chinese, so she's like accustomed to using kanji and stuff like that. 3 months? Like that's crazy. How does your mind work? Like I was so jealous because it took me freaking 6 years. So yeah. I'm not very strong with language. Now the question is, I'm going to go talk about a little bit about family. So someone asked, which sibling do I get along with the best? For those that don't know that I have a lot of siblings, I actually have 3 younger brothers and 3 older sisters. So yeah, I'm the ultimate middle child. That's a good question. I would say it's like a tie with Brian and Steph. My relationship with Brian and my relationship with Steph is very different. And I think it's because like Brian and Steph, they have very different interests. And I feel like when I talking with Brian, like we like talk about like a lot of deep stuff. We like talk about the future and like I don't know, Brian, it doesn't really show in like the videos, but he's like a really deep dude. But like with Steph, I feel like it's just like all about fooling around, all about like the stupid stuff. And yeah, Steph is a lot of fun, but Brian is also a lot of fun. And you know, they would be like the perfect sibling if I could just like, you know, match them up into like one human being. Like, you know, it's fine. Brian is fine and Steph is fine. I love both of them. I also love all my other siblings. If I were to say who I get along with the best, it would be them too. Another question a lot of you guys asked was, what is my current job? So my current job, I actually work for a company that sells and also produce motorcycle parts and also a little bit of bicycle parts. We're also doing a little bit of e-commerce as well. Basically, I'm in charge with most of like the database in the website. It's like my job to make sure that like all the product informations are all updated, and also it's my job to find product informations that is valuable to the consumers, and also to find products our customers want and to make sure that those products are on our website. So yeah, that is my current job. I'm actually planning to quit this company very soon. I'm actually finding another job. I'll update you guys about that later. So what is my dream job? I don't know if this is considered a job, but I actually really want to be a wife and a mother. If you're talking about like an occupation, I think that's actually a really good question. But like I would love to make YouTube my full-time job because I actually really do enjoy making these videos, and also it's just like I just have like a very busy life, so it's actually really hard to give you guys like creative content, because which is why lately I haven't been making a lot of like crime videos, because oh my gosh, those crime videos, they take a really long time. Someone actually asked about like if I'm done making crime videos, and I'm not steering away from crime videos. I'm just right now, I feel like with my life schedule, it's sort of hard to produce those kind of videos because it takes so much time. Oh wait, what was I talking about? I don't even know what I was answering. Okay, oh yeah, what's my dream job? Literally my attention span is like, so a job that I have been really interested in is in trade, you know, foreign trade, like, you know, making sure that, you know, items get to like X country or Japan, because I'm living in Japan. I'm not gonna get too deep into explanation because I don't know, I don't think it's, but yeah, I wanted to get a job in the line of foreign trade. That would be my dream job currently, and also to be a full-time YouTuber. And yeah, and some of you guys actually asked me what are my plans in the future, where do I see myself in the future. So I'm actually 23 years old right now, and I think a lot of people in my age, they don't really want to settle. They want to meet a lot of different people, and to be honest, it's fun getting back into the dating world and stuff, but like I think like my personality wise, I prefer to be with one person and just stick with that one person. And I don't know, I'm just not very adventurous when it comes to love. Literally my desire of getting married has been very strong. I really want to get married and I really want to have like kids. I think I want to be in a serious relationship again. Some of you guys actually asked if I'm planning to live in Japan all my life, or like do I plan on like living in another country. And that's actually a really good question, and I have thought about this quite a lot. Recently, I've been just so comfortable like living in Japan. The food is amazing, the culture is amazing. I think the people is also amazing, and like, you know, I just love the fact that like they also have like beautiful mountains and like beautiful oceans, and all at the same time like they also have like these amazing cities. There's really like nothing you can't ask for in Japan. So yeah, I think I want to live in Japan, or if I'm not going to live in Japan, I want to live in a country that has a beautiful oceans because I love the beach. I also consider the Philippines too. I've never met like so much like such a carefree, like, you know, live life type of people as much as the Philippines. Like, you know, there's a lot of fun people in the Philippines. Like, I really had a blast when I was there. Really want to go back. But also there's a lot of countries that I still have to go. Like, I haven't been to Europe yet, and also I haven't been to South America as well. And I also like there's just so much places I still need to go. So this is gonna be a really random question, but I thought it was really interesting, and I was like, wow, this person is really looking closely. I noticed that your eyes have big irises. Are those contact lenses, or your irises are naturally that big? No, these are my natural irises size. I am wearing circle lenses, so it makes my iris a little bit bigger. I actually been thinking about making a video about circle lenses. If you're like someone that's considering using circle lenses, if you have questions, just leave questions down in the comments below and I'll try to answer that and like make a whole video for you guys. I feel like it just makes your eyes look more rounder. It just gives like a stronger impact. You know what I mean? I thought this was a really funny question. When you were in Indonesia with Steph, you tried durian and you hated it. Your body even shaked. Have you tried it ever since? Yes, I actually did try durian ever since. So actually, when I was in the Philippines, I actually met this girl and her family actually owned a durian farm, and literally, oh my gosh, her room was like filled with durian. Like, I don't know how someone can live with like such a stinky freaking fruit. And she actually like brought some for us. Her parents actually like picked some durians and sent it to her, and so it was like very fresh durian. And you know what, I tried it again, and you know, I don't know what's so good about it. Like, I really don't understand. This person also asked another funny question. Am I the only one who finds it difficult to tell you apart from your sister Choi? Do people ever think you're twins? So yeah, a lot of people think me and Choi looks very alike. I actually have a hilarious story about this. So one time I went to Chie's school festival, and of course, since I'm not a student from there, I'm like wearing normal clothes. I'm just like wearing clothes like this, and literally students would be coming up to me and it's like, why aren't you wearing like uniforms? Like, there were like so many kids that telling me, so I'm just like, what are they talking about? I'm like not even like a student from here. And I thought it was really weird. And then I found out why people were telling me, because one person was like, Chie, like, why aren't you wearing a uniform? Like, you know, she was all up in my face. I don't know why, but I like gave this girl such an attitude. It's like, 私ここの学生じゃないんですけど, and like, I'm not a student from here. And she was like, what? You're not Chie? And I was just like, no, I'm her sister. And she was like, oh my gosh, you guys look exactly alike. I really couldn't tell you guys apart. At that same exact time, Chie comes back and she's like, oh my gosh, Chie, ah. And of course, Chie was wearing a uniform. And yeah, it was just like a funny story, and we just like laughed it. And yeah, I was totally fooling the whole school that I was my sister. So yeah, in my previous video, when I was like talking about like my experience like moving to Japan, I don't know why I actually get like the dates so wrong. I said move to Japan on 2018. It's actually 2008 December 10th I moved to Japan. So yeah, I got that so wrong. There is actually one question about my little brothers. I'm just curious, but the boys don't speak any English now, do they? I understand they went to Japan super young, so they basically grew up speaking Japanese. So actually, Brian and Benji is actually quite fluent in English. I don't think like not like academic level, but like I think they could live perfectly fine in the States with their English level. But Tyler is another story. His English is terrible. His Japanese is even terrible. Like sometimes his grammar is so weird. Like, why are you not able to speak Japanese? Like, come on. Okay, I found another good question. So, why did you remove your older videos? What if I need to shrink? What if I ever need to fix my shrunken sweater again? So yeah, I actually deleted a lot of my old videos. I wasn't really sure what kind of creator I wanted to be on YouTube, and when I started YouTube I wasn't intending to like make vlogs and stuff because I don't know, I just felt like my life wasn't like qualified to make vlogs, and I was only making vlogs to sort of get myself to get used to speaking to the camera and also like editing and posting videos. Like it was just sort of like a practice period for me. So like if you look at my older vlogs, well, you guys can't see anymore because I actually deleted, but it's actually like all over the place. I look a little bit stiff. I don't really look like I'm used to, you know, talking to camera and stuff. It wasn't like I put effort in those videos, so like I don't know, I feel like there wasn't really a reason for me to leave those videos because like if I wasn't like giving it my all anyways. That's why I deleted this video. But what I realized is that as I've been making more YouTube videos, I've been actually more open about making vlogs again. So yeah, maybe I will be uploading more vlogs. So someone actually is asked a lot about questions about like, you know, me starting about YouTube. So one is, how come you came up with the idea to start your own YouTube channel? So actually, I've been thinking about this for a very, very long time. Like I saw my sisters, you know, doing like YouTube videos and like saw her doing like all the edits and stuff. And I always thought it was really, really fun watching her do it. And I was always very interested in it. But like at the same time, like I am not like my sister. Like I'm not like the type of person. I'm not like very confident about myself. And I always thought I was like such a boring piece of bundle of love. And yeah, like do I even have like anything interesting to talk about? I don't know, maybe I don't, but like you know it's fun talking like random stuff, you know what I'm saying? This person also asked was, is it more time consuming than you expected? Oh my gosh, yes, it was so time consuming to make videos, especially like the videos I've been making at first, like the crime videos. It's such a pain in the ass, guys. Like okay, I had fun. Like I had a lot of fun, but like it was literally sleepless nights. I was like a college student again, like drinking like energy drinks every day, like you know, eating like snacks in the middle of the night just to like keep me awake. But these talking videos are a lot more easy to edit. Editing in general, it is time consuming. I think I got quite a lot of questions. I think I'm going to end this video with a positive question. So what has been the happiest time in your life so far? Meaning a time span of at least 3 to 6 months that still lives in your memory till this day and always makes you smile when you think of that time. What is the happiest moment? Oh my gosh, I feel like life has been very good to me recently. That's so hard to choose. Like you're really making me try to choose. If I were to choose, I would say it's the birth of my nephew. He's like the apple of my heart. He is such an angel, so cute, and literally like it's such an amazing feeling to see like this tiny being grow. I don't know, it's just like you have to experience it to understand. But yeah, that is the happiest thing that have happened to me most recently. So I actually have a question for you guys. What is the happiest thing that happened to you the span of 3 to 6 months? Yeah, I want to ask you guys that. Let me know down in the comment section below, and this is going to be the end of my video, and see you guys next week. Bye guys.